This is 8 Minutes of Awesome. I'm Jennifer Lipsky. Speaking with me today is Alison Watt. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Jennifer.
Alison is all about having fun, really experiencing life, immersing herself in every single day, and also being of service. And I know that you're going to enjoy hearing what she has to say as much as I do. So, Allison, tell us about what really lights your fire.
Well, I'd say that what really lights my fire is it sounds kind of simple, but being useful, being really of service, and really having a way to. I sat down one day and I made a list of all the things that make me happy, that really make me happy. And one of the things that was at the top of the list was making other people happy. And I know that sounds so trite, but it's so true that that like I think about my daughter who's 14. When I'm making a meal for her, when I'm spending time with her, that's what makes me the happiest in my life. And so being of service, being really helpful and serving other people makes me very happy.
Yeah, it really fills you with joy. I can
Yes.
tell. Yeah. And we were talking a few minutes ago about how life can be so funny sometimes. Like, we make plans and we're like, okay, this is the path that I'm on, and I'm rocking and rolling on it. And then sometimes those plans change. Could you share your story about that and kind of where it brought you to now?
Yes. A few years ago, I made a transition moving from Taos, New Mexico to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And during that time, I really didn't know what path my work life was going to take. And so I started back in school. Even before I left Taos, I was in school for a year and a half, 2 years, getting ready to make a transition into a career as a physical therapist. And so I took a lot of coursework, spent a lot of time taking things like statistics and trigonometry and things I would normally be spending my time doing. And and then I realized that that really was not the direction I wanted to go in. I really I had been working in the public schools and really felt so comfortable in that environment, in that administrative role in public school, that I decided to go and return to that rather than to keep pursuing this path of becoming a physical therapist. And and so I had this enormous caseload of anatomy and physiology classes going deeply into anatomy and physiology like I never had before. And just about a week and a half ago, I was offered a position in a public school where I'm doing administration like I have been doing, but also to branch out and be a high school anatomy and physiology teacher, which just she asked me that out of the blue, would you like to teach a course? And I thought, really? That's uh, that's an interesting question. And I immediately remembered that when I left high school, the one thing I wanted to do was be a high school science teacher. And I had left that behind so long ago and never really thought about it again until she asked me the question. And I said, well, sure, I'd like to be a high school
Oh.
anatomy and physiology teacher. Why not? So I'm frantically, preparing for this new job where I'm going to be in the classroom for the first time.
That is so exciting. And I love that because it just shows, going with that and trusting it and wow, what an amazing opportunity has been presented to you and you've taken it on. That's so great. And I'd like to know, like, so if someone is feeling in their life that they are maybe not having as much joy in their life as they could or as much fun in their life as they could, what would you suggest? How can someone kind of break out of certain patterns to really start to kind of sink their teeth into that joy of every day?
Well, for me, what I've done in my life to sort of tap into joy was to really get in a committed meditation practice. I joined a Kriya Yoga meditation group in a town outside of Taos and was with that group for 6 years and really had the opportunity to connect with something larger than myself, so that I wasn't always just, it wasn't just me. It wasn't just about me. It was about larger service. It was about how can I contribute to the world. And and it was through um, and so whenever I feel drained or when I feel like I'm off course in any way, sitting down in that meditation, it's like coming home. It's like having that centering and that ability to go in and just say, okay, universe, I'm here. What, just to sit quietly. You don't even have to ask questions, just to sit quietly. And it allows my brain to step out of the anxiety wheel that it can get so easily get into. I spend a lot of time thinking, planning and making decisions, and then to sit in a space where I can say, okay, I'm going to surrender. I'm not going to try to make every decision about my life because there's no possible way for me to know where I'm going. I can head off in that direction, but I don't actually know what's going to happen in the future. So if I can surrender to what is in the moment, become peaceful, and then that allows the joy to come up.
Really puts you in that flow. And you
It
make an
puts,
interesting
oh,
point. A lot of people may feel that, sitting in meditation um, has to be or should be kind of a solo event, by themselves in a room, which is totally, can be totally a value as well. But your experience of being in more of a community setting with other people has been a value and benefit to you. So I think
oh
that's
yeah.
a good point to mention. So if someone's looking to get into meditation or maybe experience something different in their life, thank you for that
Yes.
suggestion.
I was very fortunate to be a part of that group because there was incredible support in the group. And also, it was set up very uniquely, I think, where we had weekly courses that we attended, and it was all free. And it was just like laying the foundation for deeper meditation. Every week we'd go and take a class with other students, and it was just beautiful. I feel very fortunate to have been a part of that.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And I would like to know if there was one message that you really wanted to get out to other people for them to hear, what would your message be today?
Hmm, that's a big question. um, I would say, I would say, do what it is. Even it's funny, but even if your job is sitting in front of a computer all day, and going to work, make that work be of value to you. It's the only thing, it's your life. We spend more time at work than we do with our kids, than we do with anything else. Your coworkers become your family, even if you're not really close with them. These are the people that you connect with every day. So make that be worthwhile
Mm,
internally, make that be your service.
right.
Whatever it is, whether you're collecting the garbage or you're, a college professor or whatever you're doing, make that the source of your happiness and your joy because that's really the bulk of your life.
Mm, yeah. So stepping in service, stepping in joy, stepping in the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh,
finding contentment and peace in that.
mm,
It's like so many people rail against the the yoke of having to work. And work can be a tremendous sense of joy if
yeah.
you go about it in a way that um, you know, I feel like if I'm doing my best work, if I'm not slacking off and just getting through the day, if I'm doing my best work, then it makes me happier. It makes me feel better. So
Yeah.
that's what makes me happy.
It's a great message. It's a great message. What came to mind is that kind of that phrase "rage against the machine." Not
Yes,
maybe not what we want to do. We want to really embrace what we're doing.
yes.
Um, yeah.
And if
Oh,
you're miserable, don't be afraid to change.
yeah. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Embrace
Because I've
change.
changed so many times in my life, not because I'm miserable, because I love change, but really, so many people are miserable and they crave the security of their job. But if my life has taught me anything, it's like you do not have to worry about finding something new. Something new always presents itself if you go looking.
Yeah. If you let yourself be available to it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Oh, Allison, thank you so much for these great messages and for sharing your personal story. And thank you for being here on 8 Minutes of Awesome.
It's been a real pleasure, Jennifer. Thank you.